I should probably put a voiceover here for our sponsor. Nah, you can read.
It's time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the one, the only Garry Tonon, the winner of EBI 13. You're being very friendly all of a sudden.
I'm pretty pumped right now. I mean, a lot of good things happened today.
Yeah, that's true. There was a lot that happened. I need to address one thing first. You cut off your man face. Now you look like you're 19 years old. Your response to that?
I think quite a few years younger than 19, but it was all for Hef. Hef was always clean shaven. I tried my best to find a photo where maybe he had some facial hair. I couldn't find a single one, so I figured if I was going to commit to the Hef bit, I had to go full clean shave.
So how much did Hefner's passing affect you? Because you made a rash guard as a tribute to him.
Yes.
You put up status updates about it. You stole one of my jokes. That's not a big problem. But
I'm going to admit to that.
yeah, you should.
Yeah, I texted him immediately after
You
I
did
told him.
text me to let me know.
Like if I was going to plagiarize, I should at least tell the person I was
It is
plagiarizing.
honestly, as a comedian, you don't steal other people's jokes. So I felt like as somebody who's not a comedian, you're not a comedian. I know that, but I thought I was like, at least he's doing the good guy thing. Look at him trying to just in your own way tell me that you stole my joke without even
piece of shit.
doing anything else for it. Okay, so it distraughted you, but what was it like? Were you in mourning? What did you go through? What was your process like when Hef died?
Well, it all flashed back to memories of me when I was, I must have been like 10 years old, 11 years old. And we had like a old tree fort in the back. There's like 2 blocks away from my house where we'd ride bikes, and then you'd have to walk through a pathway in the woods to get to this tree fort. And then inside a garbage bag, a black garbage bag, would be like a collective of all the Playboys that anybody could get their hands on in the town. And those were some of the greatest moments, sneaking away to be able to. The best part about this is my mom is literally within earshot, of this whole thing as I'm explaining this whole thing.
You are on your best behavior because your mom's here. I want to point that out.
Much unaware of what went on there, and
I'm pretty sure she's aware.
How desperate we were to find pornographic material as young children. It was unbelievable.
You had the internet. I don't even you act.
No.
What
When
you?
I was 10, 11 years old. You think I had? Listen, please. First of all, the computer was nowhere within reach or access. Second of all,
Probably a good choice for you.
Whenever we did use the computer, this is what it was like. All right, signing on to AOL. Maybe it's gonna work. Maybe it doesn't. Ba-ding, woo!
You had Bill Cosby internet? That's my favorite. Buddy.
Literally had to wait for that loud noise to blast. It took like 15 minutes. Sometimes you didn't even get on. I don't know. I was so young too. I didn't know to look for that kind of stuff online. I had no idea what I was doing. So.
I'm so glad that you talk like an old person, despite the fact that you're a decade younger than me. And you're like, AOL was a thing, kids. Let me tell you about this. You barely lived through it. You barely get to do
I didn't have
any
my
part
own
of that.
laptop like kids do today until I was much older.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't even have a phone until I was 15, something like that. So
Okay. So there are a few things we need to address. I feel like you are costumely naked right now.
Yes.
I feel like you're missing a few things. You showed up, when you go in the photo booth at a wedding, that's what you look like on stage today. Yeah. You had your robe, your Captain and Tennille hat, and you made a lot of things for yourself. The best part was I felt like when you had the pipe during the rules meeting today, you had a question as John Danaher spoke up, as he would normally do, and he asked a question, and you showed off a move, and you threw the pipe on the ground, and then you showed the move, and then you put that pipe right back in your mouth.
absolutely, commitment to character.
Commitment to character, also commitment to germs, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, I live in a jiu-jitsu academy, essentially, in a basement. That is the least of my worry. The floors here are 20 times cleaner than the floors in Henzo's. I guarantee you.
Where did you get the hat from?
The hat, I bought it online. I bought everything online.
Jesus.
This is the classiest one I could come up with without spending $300 in terms of a smoking jacket. I wanted to get it embroidered so it said R.I.P. Hef on the back. I just didn't have time. And then the pipe I just randomly bought, the pipe that came up when I typed in pipe on, Google.
I felt like, though, coming with a 10th Planet event, you just brought the wrong kind of pipe today.
I know.
So there is that.
It's kind of, I feel like for them, it was probably sacrilege that I wasn't actually smoking weed the whole time out of this while I was getting ready to compete.
It's okay, guys. It's a vape pen. You're okay.
Yeah. I'm sure they looked down upon me in that regard for sure. They're like, yeah, real committed.
So let's talk about this. Okay, well, let's talk about your day because we've got a lot to cover here today. The first was you had some amazing matches. The one that jumps out to me right away is it a good time to do a public service announcement, which is when Garry Tonon has you in a heel hook, please tap. I'm not saying that you have to like give up the match. I'm just saying for the health of your knee and other people watching the telecast, my knee was hurting with that.
I think some people may have learned that today, that maybe heel hooks work. They could work even when you think they're not going to.
So what was going through your head? Did you think that you had them finished? Because at times it looked like you were almost pulling away from finishing because you thought this will cause bodily harm to you for a long period of time. Is that what was going through your head?
Here's what went through my head. First off, I'm just like, focused on breaking. I'm focused on finishing the match. Those were my initial thoughts. And then he took a couple pops, and I'm like, okay.
You heard pops.
Yeah. So I got to get these in a little deeper or whatever the case may be. Then probably after a couple minutes of doing that, I realized, like, this is a personal insult. I was like, this is literally, like, now my pride is kicking in, like, all right, this is one of my most dangerous weapons, and he's just laughing at me, essentially, by not tapping and not really even trying to get out. So I was like, I made the decision right there, like, no, he needs to be finished. Another thing went through my head as well when I heard John say 2 minutes left, Garry Tonon or whatever, and I was like, there's no way this guy is going to get me through to overtime and take $5,000 from me just because he's like too prideful to tap to these heel hooks. Sure. So I was like, I am going to find a way to make sure. I should have probably switched to something else that would have been more effective, some type of strangle or whatever, but I'm pumped because I proved that shit works, whether you want it to or not.
I mean, he definitely had that like kind of bow-legged step afterwards that I think the whole crowd had a moment of, please don't.
I don't go into this like, I mean, we practice breaking limbs and strangling people, but I don't go into this like, oh yeah, I just want to dislocate everybody's kneecaps. But I mean, if you make me do it, that's what we practice for. So
I'll tell you this much: I don't think there's any horror film out right now that made me scream more from my own seat of like, no.
That must have been ugly. When I watch matches where people get seriously broken, it disgusts me. Like it's hard for me to watch. Like when I'm doing it myself, I'm so focused on what I'm doing. Right. But from the outside, like probably the worst one for me was I think Frank Mir and Guerra. Yes. Oh my God, I'm like I still like put up a clip on YouTube and I'm like throwing up in my mouth. It's man, that's tough to watch.
The resiliency that you don't throw up during your own matches is quite well.
When I watch this, I probably will. I mean, there's numerous times so it's just in full extension.
But I think the issue is that it happens so many times throughout a series of about a 3-minute chain.
I'm pretty sure I switched legs too. I made a legit attempts on one leg. My hamstrings got a little tired, and I was like, you know what? We got to switch things up, or I'm just gonna get exhausted here breaking him. So I was like, all right, let's break the other leg, and that became what I did next. So. Oh,
terrible to watch. Okay, but then you reminded people that sometimes you don't always just attack legs. You had a nice triangle armbar finish as well. So a lot of people really love the transition work. Explain a little bit of how that went down.
Yeah, that's actually been something I've been working on a lot more, I would say within the last 6 months to a year. I've been really getting a lot better, I think, at that Kimura to triangle transition and stuff. And it's shown through. That was almost like instinct because of how many times I've been practicing the movements. It's not like I was planning on doing that during the match or anything like that. I had the Kimura, thought about taking his back. He came on top, and then opportunity for triangle was there. It's like my body just did it automatically. It's
a good problem to have.
Yeah. I have to
wish I understood it.
Man, I have to thank John a lot for that kind of thing. Like the drills that we do every day. It's funny. Sometimes you'll see me go into a match, and like even Gordon said it, like I'm literally just not mentally turned on.
Phrasing? Hold on, Hef. Really go down with that.
Not what I meant. I'm not mentally focused the way that I should be for a match. I'm just kind of like watching myself compete, almost like a third party.
Not fully erect yet, is what he means.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh look, everybody! It's the King, ADCC winner, Mr. Gordon Ryan. Why don't you go ahead and take the dump in seat?
Oh man.
so that I can do this. Well, I'm trying to. You're not getting discarded.
I just get discarded again.
Aren't you used to this yet?
This is like the time that they put us on a magazine and he was in front. And I was
Oh
in back.
God, shut up.
This is in trouble.
Here, hold this. You're gonna like this next
Oh, no,
question.
no, screw this. You know, he's
Kid.
here, so-
Come back in. Come back in.
Fine.
Come. You're important too, big guy. But he's more important. Hey, Gordon. Real quick question. This is something the internet wants to know. Okay. And you've invited discussion of this.
What do y'all motherfuckers want to know?
When did you start using that voice?
What do y'all motherfuckers want to know?
Wow. Okay, this got really intense. All right. Scale of 1 to 10.
10.
Okay. I don't think you knew what the answer was, but here we go. Scale of 1 to 10. How many steroids are you on? 10 being the most.
12.
12. Excellent. Good answer, sir. The internet seems fascinated by your ability to go from small to big. What is your response to the haters? Because I see you troll them every once in a while.
This is a good time to plug our Viagra dealer. Probably, right?
That's true. Yeah.
But I do notice that you're spending more and more time having to address these people because they don't feel that you've done it naturally. What is your response?
Well, I mean, I basically was just eating cheeseburgers. By the way, the Garry Tonon diet is actually the Gordon Ryan diet. When I was 17 years old, I posted a picture of me eating a Domino's pizza, and Gary said, You're teaching people now. You're trying to encourage them to get in shape. You can't be posting pictures like this. And then Gary starts posting pictures of him eating Five Guys, and all of a sudden it's the Garry Tonon diet. Okay. So basically, I was just eating cheeseburgers and pizza all the time, not doing anything. And then I just went to an extremely clean diet and just started lifting weights.
Gordon Ryan diet, so it really doesn't matter. It's mine
Well,
now.
I want to say this, though, because, like, as this is happening, when there was, like, somebody said, I think, this is the funniest comment to me. They go, what if somebody can't make 155? And I was like, Gordon will make it. And they were like, what? I was like, Gordon, like, he doesn't even care at this point. He just was, like, up for a challenge of, is it 155? Yeah, I'll go total Christian Bale and total start getting down to that weight.
I would have made it.
Now,
Unparalleled confidence.
Now, let's say this. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys to evaluate each other because you both have had some great days. Don't untie my laces, you ADHD kid. Listen, I want you – I didn't leave myself open. I wore shoes. That's problem number one. Okay. Wait, no, don't pride in this. Socks and I see that hand. Socks and sandals, sir. How dare you?
Style.
It's so bad. They wear these socks and sandals, and like where I came from, we live like relatively close to the beach. Watching people wear socks and sandals made all of us like have despise anybody around us like that.
But wouldn't it make sense that it happens with him doing that?
I mean, it does make sense because he's a total dork, but like, I don't know. His brother does it too, and his brother thinks it's okay. It's just like you're already wearing sandals. Why socks?
It's just what gangsters do.
Okay.
It's just I can't really
gangsters
argue
do.
with
Okay. I had talked with him about a heel hook. I've talked with him about a triangle armbar. I want to ask you, how did Garry do today?
Well, I was kind of pissed when he heel hooked Wagner because I tried that 2 matches in a row and I could not do it, and he did it in like the first 30 seconds. So that's just horse shit.
Okay.
But I was really happy with the matches overall. Every match was really short except for the one match, which was 8.5 minutes or so. But he spent the entire match just viciously breaking both of his opponent's legs, so I can't really complain there.
Were you?
What is it that somebody said they heard him say in Portuguese right before our match? Like right after my match before that?
Just doesn't look like Gary's prepared well for this.
I think I may or may not have been prepared.
Okay, that's surprising to me.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, granted, I don't trust the fake news that is here, but that would be a very shocking statement to say if it was true. So that's great. And you were obviously very happy to see him win, correct? You guys have reached that point?
No.
No, come on. You guys have to grow up. You're both happy for each other. Everybody sees you guys celebrate and get really excited when the other wins.
First of all, is 155 even a real weight?
Wow.
Like, what are you, 12 years old?
Wow. You know that's something apparently famous that Cyborg has said, that if you're not over 185 pounds, you're not actually a man. Like you're a boy. You're just not. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like Cyborg quote. I could be wrong. I've heard that before.
We'll have our fact checkers go up and look at it. All right, now I'm going to ask you about this because you get to see your protege do very well at ADCC. Tell us a little bit about his performance there.
Yeah, I mean, I was extremely excited when Felipe finally got that second hook in on the back.
It's never going to end.
I actually was gonna make an Instagram video of like him with my back the first time strangling me, and then like him with my back the second time, and then like both of his hands raised both times with like sad music playing in the background, and like caption it like the one that got away.
Oh man, that would have been amazing.
So obviously,
I was extremely excited, ecstatic. It just I told the guys when I was getting interviewed before about EBI today. I feel like more excited than I ever have for one of my EBIs, but still, him winning EBI and him winning ADCC are much more exciting moments to me than anything I've done in my career. Because as a coach, and obviously he's got other coaches besides me now. Nothing makes me happier than to see one of my students do even better than I've ever done or achieve things that I couldn't achieve. So, I'm without words, to say how happy I am for his victories.
Are you crying? Wow, you're getting a little emotion there, kid. Here, use the silk will take part of it. It's fine. How was it like, man? I mean, everybody was so excited for you. Except for the haters. It was a bad day for them, as you said. But to put that out there, it does take a lot of balls to say, I'm going to win, and I'm going to do so in dominant fashion. And then to actually do it is another step. How did it feel to actually accomplish what you had been visualizing?
Well, here's the deal. Everyone really just sucks. So I knew it was going to happen in the first place. That's why I called what I was going to do, because I knew that everybody sucked. And that's about it.
Very succinct. Very good. Very good. I'm glad that the two of you still.
It's so funny. Like you guys like see his level of confidence. You're like, oh yeah, it's because he worked really hard. He got really good at jiu-jitsu. He would have said the same thing he just said there, like as a white belt in jiu-jitsu, which is the craziest part. Like, no part of that confidence has anything to do with any of the work that he's done.
Yeah, it's 100% true.
The only reason why I'm this good is because I thought that I was that good when I was a white belt, and I just had to catch up physically and technically to where my mind was.
You knew what he was meant for back then.
Have you ever thought if you two never actually met? Has that possibility ever run through your mind? How much better or worse your lives would have been?
Better. In my dreams. The funny part is I literally, in another world, had I met him in any other aspect of life aside from student teacher, I don't think I would ever associate with people that had his mentality and personality type in school. I absolutely hated more than any other people that I had ever met. So if it wasn't for the relationship that we had, there's zero chance I would have associated myself with him in any way.
The best part is that all of Garry's friends and students are now people that he would normally hate in the regular world.
It is torture. All right, so let's get to other discussions. The fact that you now signed up for MMA, you can't be too far behind, but we'll ask that in a second. What's that going to be like? I can tell you, though, in my own personal brain, it's going to be great seeing you to get punched. Your response?
Yeah, I had a feeling you might say that.
Why is that, though?
My face. I just know you have a deep-seated hatred for me.
Absolutely. It's pretty espoused. I've never really hidden it.
Deep-seated. That's true. Deeply rooted, I should say, but not really hidden. But yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be excited to watch me get punched in the face. I think a lot of people are going to be hoping oh yeah, this guy has been submitting everybody with leg locks. They're not going to work in MMA. Can't wait to watch him just get his face punched. It's all he knows how to do. There's tons of people out there just waiting for that, but I'm here to prove them wrong, so I'm excited for that.
Okay. So he's going MMA. Are you now ready to take on in his place and continue holding down the sub-only movement?
Yeah, so I'm going to continue to compete in no-gi, obviously, and I'm going to start training in the gi and also start training for MMA because, we have him fighting and we have George fighting now, so it's a perfect time to start developing all my MMA skills, but still focusing mainly on jiu-jitsu and trying to win, everything there is to win in the gi. And then once I do that, then I'm definitely going to move to MMA.
Now, you guys brought up GSP. What is it like been to train with GSP, yes, no?
It's amazing to be around George. That was a decent impression.
It's not bad. Your heel hooks are decent.
John's got the best impression of all of George. But
you know what, though? It doesn't work if you don't do it on air. Because I'll put that out there right now, Danaher. You haven't put your GSP on video, so therefore it can't be good. Go on.
Wow, rough. He's not too far away.
I know where he is.
He's
right over there.
I think that we should have a rap battle with Danaher and you
a rap
right now.
battle between me and him.
Nobody sees it. Nobody sees it. He's literally been rapping. I would say every other message or so, he's been attacking. He crushed Tom the Blast recently in a rap battle. It's not.
That can't be that hard, though.
Tom's not bad. He's not bad. He's got some hip hop roots in him. I'm telling you.
I mean, there's just a lot of places to put it.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. All right.
Whatever,
Wow.
dude. Get off me.
Okay.
You compete in 99K, you could talk.
You wish I was on you.
Oh, God. Never. Your mom's face is the most accurate. I like that even your mom is selling you out being like, I'm not responsible for
Things that
this.
she said literally 2 days ago don't even compare to anything that we've said. What do you think, Gordon?
Fair. Okay. So now we're going back to this. What has it been like to train with GSP?
It's we learn a lot definitely as far as MMA goes. Training with him is we do a lot of the groundwork as far as holding people down and working in simulating strikes on the ground. So that's really interesting to go over that as well as specific tactics for who he's fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been very interesting and helpful to me as someone who's trying to acquire MMA skills.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also very high level of jiu-jitsu, one of the hardest people ever to sweep and super difficult to hold out.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This tough training for sure.
I could definitely see that with really good, strong, is it almost like wrestler? Like, it just seems like GSP is such a great athlete that he can kind of adapt.
It's definitely a lot of athleticism, to say the least, for sure. But it's funny because a lot of people look at like MMA fighters. They're like, oh yeah, like jiu-jitsu is going to be subpar because they focus on MMA. But I'm telling you, between Jake and George, my mom almost just tripped over the EBI belt, which was
Sell her out like that. That's a terrible child.
Wait. One of my best childhood memories. I'm like 15 years old. My mom goes to walk down the stairs. She's holding a cup of coffee in her hand. Okay, as I'm not in the room, I'm in the next room. There's a mirror at the foot of the stairs, so I'm seeing the mirror image of what happened. I hear the scream. I look in the mirror. You just see my mother with coffee cup in hand, falling down each step like this. And the coffee is all over the wall. It was one of the greatest things I ever got to witness, still in my entire
You're a
life.
terrible fucking child.
Amazing.
I'm going to put that on. Oh,
Like
God.
my sister, too, see? Oh, man. Oh, man.
That's
Because
terrible.
you almost tripped over the belt. You did it to yourself. I wouldn't have said it.
She's posing in a belt because that's what mom does when she's proud of her
love
child.
my mom.
Her
I do.
child is over here being like, see this story I'm telling about you, Mom? I'm proud of you, too, in my own way.
Listen, she's done enough embarrassing me since I was a child.
I think you've done way more embarrassing her than you will ever have her embarrass you.
That's fair.
I can guarantee you that. We can show you the numbers that run it. Okay, GSP, very good. He's going to MMA. Here's my question I guess I got to ask you guys. There's video now of Eddie. We're getting there. Shut up. You don't have any place to be. Eddie declaring war on y'all. What is your response to Eddie Bravo saying it is war?
I mean, that's fine. As a coach, I think that's what he should be shooting for. If he has people who are competitors, he should be looking to take out the best guys. With that being said, good luck. I'll be happy to compete against any of Eddie's top guys at any time, so that should be fun. As a coach, that's what he should be shooting for. But I just think that we're going to be better than them forever. So,
Your response, sir.
You want to declare a war? I'm putting my war paint on. You know what's in my war paint? Blood of my enemies.
So Gary making the transition to MMA, but not acting anytime soon, it looks like.
Wow. I thought
Just
it was
like-
pretty good.
You committed, and you've never been short on committing. It's just talent.
Yeah. You're right. I can't really say much.
All right. Listen, you're about to so are you doing combat jiu-jitsu in a couple of weeks? What's the deal with that?
Yeah. So it's just like a lead into MMA. We're going to work on grapple box. It's just one piece. That's really the only element of MMA that's in combat jiu-jitsu is grapple box. So essentially when you're on the ground and you're trying to strike to do damage. As you saw tonight, it plays a minor factor. It makes people stay on the feet more. They don't want to get hit, so they don't want to play bottom. People are going to get up more, but I don't think it's a huge factor. I don't think anybody's getting TKO'd anytime soon. This was even a bigger weight, heavier weight category, and still didn't seem like there was significant damage being done with the strikes. So I still think a lot of it's going to come down to who has the best jiu-jitsu.
And sir, you have EBI 14 coming up. That is the absolute category. What can we expect from that?
I mean, there's a bunch of tough guys, a lot of familiar faces. I know Herbert Santos is in it, so I've been looking forward to competing against him for a while. Craig Jones obviously is very tough. I can compete against him in ADCC.
That was a fun match, by the way.
Yeah, that was good. And then Vinny's always tough. So there's a decent amount of high level guys, and I'm excited to compete against those guys and hopefully retain my title.
Oh yeah,
Well,
man.
you can give your real answer now, right? You're the king. You won ADCC.
Hold on, no.
You give the answer you actually want to give.
He's doing like the Ed Norton.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's trying to be like the nice guy.
Hold on,
right
here
now.
we go.
What do you actually feel?
Well, I mean, everybody is tough, but compared to me, they do suck.
There we go.
That's what I
that's
wanted
better.
I want you guys to see that.
You know what it was?
I see every day.
You know when like you have to hit your computer to be like, it's frozen.
Shake it up a
Sorry,
little
give it a
bit.
second.
Yeah.
It'll go back to normal.
Well, because he used to have to give interviews like that. He's trying to be like a little bit humble, but we know, like I know on the inside what he really feels.
What does he feel on the inside right now?
That's not what I feel.
It's just
It's just a fact.
Yeah,
I'm just the best.
yeah. But now that you proved it, I mean, you can say whatever you want.
I mean, you're gonna
Don't
have
really
the
need to
ability
be
to do
nice.
this for 2
May
years.
as well just be you now.
And then when I win the absolute, everybody's fucked.
You know what? The worst part about this is it was your first crack at bat. So now we're gonna be stuck seeing this for a while. Correct?
Well, yeah, I just plan to just win the absolute and then just do super fights until I die.
Jesus Christ! Oh God! Super fights until he dies.
You're
All
gonna have
right.
to find like mythical creatures or something for him to fight.
But do me a favor, though.
Are not enough.
This is an important thing I need to tell both of you. When you do win the absolute, can you do us a solid? Because when people win the absolute, they start to make kind of boring matches when they're super fights, if we're being honest. So can you, like, not make them boring?
Yeah, I'm probably just going to submit everybody.
There we go.
Who I have to
I'll
do
take
super
that.
fights with, so.
I'm good with that. All right, gentlemen. Well, you know what? We can always do this forever. Don't point yet. Yeah? Do you have anything that you want to say about your sponsors? I'm not looking into your eyes. You're going more into Popeye mode right now at this point, if I'm being honest. All right, that was worth it. All right, sponsors, take care of them.
I hate when you guys do this because I know I always get close to forgetting somebody.
Jesus.
All right, so I've Muscle Farm, I have Phalanx, I have Studio 540, I have Chimera Coffee. I have the Armbar Soap Company. I have Ouch Medical with Kareem, who helps me out in New York City whenever I get sick. He is. Am I forgetting anybody? Who else? I think that's good, right?
Muscle Farms in
Muscle
LA.
Farms in LA now. I said Muscle Farm, but Muscle Farms in LA now.
And shout out Dynamics for getting you for a seminar.
Yeah, Dynamics did help. Dynamics did help me out. Josh has been helping us out forever.
Sick.
Getting me privates and getting me seminars and things like that. So, he's awesome. And I think that's it, right? We got everybody.
I think that's a pretty good list. If we forgot, he'll take out an Adam Variety, sir.
We pretty much have the same sponsors. The only other thing I'm
Oh, hold on.
Who's that? Oh, yeah, and Natalia. She's not a sponsor, really. but yeah, her and Gary and John and all the rest.
Absolutely. Yeah, he was just speaking of sponsors. Of course, guys, thanks so much to anybody that's in our training camp in New York City or New Jersey, anybody that trains with us, Professor Tom DeBlas, and anybody part of the Henzo Gracie morning class and afternoon class that comes in and really puts in all that time and effort with us in John's classes and makes us who we are. Couldn't do it without any of you guys.
I just want to say, you guys are the ultimate jokesters, but your jiu-jitsu is always for real, and we're big fans. We're glad that you were able to do and accomplish your dreams, so congratulations to that, sir. More to come, I know. You look like you want to say something.
Absolutely. And since Rolexes have a crown on them, Rolex, you should shoot me over one of your watches because I'm the king. Just throwing it out there.
Wait, you're down. That was a ploy. Like, I said something nice about you, and you're like, speaking of which, Rolex, an amazing
Just
watch.
putting it out there. If Rolex wants to send me a watch with the crown on it, I will accept.
Very subtle. Wow. Isn't it supposed to be a king?
A Rolex with two crowns or two separate Rolexes, either will do.
And Gary, congratulations on the 5th win that you've had here. Woo! You're not Ric Flair.
Woo!
I just want to make sure that it's got to be extra special that you had your family here today. And I know that they've expressed off camera, they were saying they always wish that they could be here, but I know it must be extra special to have this one where they could see it. Yeah. So big congrats to you.
Now they've gotten a chance to see the worst part about winning EBI, having to talk to
you
Rob.
have to talk to me, yeah. You know what's funny?
Hour and a half,
this is
possibly missing our opportunity to eat.
Dude, no, seriously, when you guys lose, I'm going to be the first person you have to talk to, and I'm going to be so happy. I'm going to be like, walk me through your day, and then you're going to go, I don't want to talk about it. Or you're going to say it like you, I don't want to talk about it. It's the worst. Gordon, I hate Gordon. He's awful. That's basically your shtick.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Anyway, do you want the part where I was complimenting you both?
Yeah, sorry.
All right, there we
blocked
go.
that all out.
Congratulations to both of you. Great jobs. Us. And
Goosey goosey.
keep it locked here at verbaltapcast.com for more information, you guys.
Yeah!